The Tavari scout ship drifted silently near the edge of the mining moon called Chorus 7. Its small engines hummed softly as the crew completed their mineral scans. The Tavari were a peaceful species, thin bodies, long necks, soft gray skin, and four-fingered hands. They hated violence. They never carried weapons. Captain Relock, leader of the small Tavari crew, sat in his chair, watching the scanners. Any sign of useful or he asked, scratching the ridges behind his ear. His science officer Rala shook her head. Nothing special, Captain, just iron and nickel reloxide. Another wasted trip then. Something unusual appeared on the screen. Wait, Captain Rolla gasped. Life form detected, not Tavari, not any known species. Relock stood up, where Rala pointed at the screen near Sector 9, the South Canyon. Relock's eyes widened. Is it moving? No. But it's alive. Barely without wasting time, Relock gave the order. Prep a landing pod. Let's check it out. The human on the moon. The landing pod touched down with a soft thud on the dusty surface of Chorus 7. Relock, Rolla, and two medics stepped out. They moved carefully through the rocky terrain, using scanners to locate the life form. Then they saw a human, a male, wounded, wearing a torn spacesuit with the faded letters Earth Research Division on the chest. Blood stained the ground around him. His breathing was shallow. Relock had seen many strange creatures in his years of travel, but never a human. The Tavari had only heard rumors, stories about humans from traders and old space tales. Some called them dangerous, others called them unpredictable. But now, here was one, alone, dying. Help him, Relock ordered. The medics lifted the human onto a stretcher and carried him back to the ship, a dangerous decision inside the Tavari ship. The human was placed in the medbay. Rala monitored the life signs. The human's heart rate was weak, his oxygen levels dropping. We need to give him oxygen and fluid, she said. Relock nodded. Do what you can. The human opened his eyes for a brief second. His gaze was full of fear and confusion. He whispered one word before falling unconscious. Again, run. The Tavari didn't understand. They thought he was just delirious. But far above them, watching silently from orbit, was a Vaskir patrol ship. The Vaskir Empire noticed that Vaskir were not peaceful like the Tavari. They were a warlike species, muscular, reptilian, black scales, yellow eyes, known for taking slaves and crushing weak species. Commander Hesh of the Vaskir watched the small Tavari ship on his screen. His weapons officer growled. Commander, the Tavari have taken a human on board. Pressure's eyes narrowed. A human? On this moon? What is an Earth creature doing here? The officer shrugged. No idea, but the Tavari have him now. Hresh licked his fangs. Idiots. They don't know what they're playing with. He opened a communication channel. A loud, angry voice filled the Tavari ship. The ultimatum. Attention, Tavari vessel. This is Commander Hresh of the Vaskir Empire. You are holding a human. Surrender the creature immediately, or face destruction. Relock froze. Rala's face turned pale. Relock activated the comm. This human was injured. He needs help. We are not involved in your war, Hresh laughed. A deep, cruel sound. You don't understand, Tavari. There is no negotiation. Hand him over, or die. Relock muted the channel. He looked at his crew. What do we do? Rala whispered. Relock clenched his fists. We finish what we started. We help him. The first attack. Moments later, the Vaskir ship opened fire. The Tavari ship shook violently. Alarms rang. Sparks flew from the control panels. Relock shouted. Shields failing. Engines offline. The Tavari had no weapons. They had no defense. Then another hit. The lights flickered. The medics covered the human's body, trying to protect him from debris. Rala screamed. We're losing power. Relock knew this was the end. With shaking hands, he pressed a button on his console. A desperate, last-second action. A distressed signal. One word encoded. Sent into deep space. Help and the coordinates. Earth's coordinates. Earth's listening post thousands of light years away. On a small Earth listening post near Proxima Centauri, the distress signal was picked up. The technician on duty was half asleep, drinking cold coffee. Suddenly, the console beeped. Incoming distress call. He played the message. A garbled voice, then the word help, then coordinates. His eyes widened. He ran down the hall. Commander, you need to see this. Within minutes, Earth Defense Command was alerted. The message replayed across multiple screens. A human in danger. Earth now knew the location. And worse, Earth recognized the Vaskir's communication signature. The order from Earth at Earth Defense Central Command. Admiral Reyes stood looking at the message. Her face was cold, eyes sharp. She knew the Vaskir well. She turned to her officers. Get me our first response fleets. Ready the heavy destroyers. Alert all strike teams. One officer hesitated. Ma'am, do you want to negotiate first? Admiral Reyes glared, her voice like steel. No, there's no negotiation when a human is involved. Her next words echoed across the room. Prepare for lethal force. The calm before the storm. Back on the Tavari ship, Relock sat near the human. His ship was broken, his crew injured, life support failing. He wondered if anyone even heard their call. The Vaskir ship prepared for boarding. Heavy footsteps echoed as Vaskir soldiers readied their weapons. Rolla whispered, Captain, what do we do now? Relock lowered his head. We wait. Just as the Vaskia ships began their final approach, a strange light appeared in the sky above Cora 7. The Tavaris sensors lit up with dozens, then hundreds, of unknown incoming signals. Relok's eyes widened. Ships. Huge ones. Fast. Angry. Earth. Arrives in space above the moon. Reality tore open. Earth's 7th battle fleet dropped out of FTL at full speed. Destroyers, cruisers, carrier groups, black and silver hulls. Guns already hot. The Vaskia commander's screen lit up with red warnings. Hundreds of Earth warships now surrounded the entire sector. Commander Haresh's eyes went wide. His mouth went dry. Admiral Reyes herself opened a direct line to the Vaskia. Face appeared on every Vaskia screen. Her words were slow, deadly. You touched one of ours. This was your mistake. End of Part 1. Cliffhanger. The first Earth railguns began charging. The Vaskia ship scrambled to run, but it was too late. Earth's fury had arrived. The Vaskia warships froze in space. Their screens were full of danger alerts. Hundreds of Earth ships now filled the area above Cora 7. Commander Hirsch stood on his bridge, sweating. His crew looked at him for orders, but he had no words. The humans had arrived faster than anyone expected. Their ships were bigger, faster, and better armed than anything the Vaskia had seen in this sector. The Vaskia communication officer turned. Commander, incoming transmission from Earth fleet. Haresh swallowed hard, put it on screen. Earth's deadly warning. The giant screen flickered. The face of Admiral Reyes appeared. She sat in her command chair, her uniform dark, her face cold, and serious. Her voice was low. Calm but full of danger. This is Admiral Reyes of Earth Defense Command. She paused. You are holding a human citizen. This is not negotiable. The Vaskia bridge crew froze. You have 1 hour, Reyes continued. Return the human, or face consequences. The screen went dark. The Vaskia laughed. A deadly mistake. Commander Hresh stared at the blank screen. Then he laughed, loud and sharp. Earth thinks they can scare us, he shouted. We are the Vaskia Empire. We've crushed planets before. His weapons officer grinned. They won't attack. They're just bluffing. Hresh nodded. Prepare to leave orbit. We'll take the human with us. Let them chase his ship. Engines powered up. Other Vaskia ships followed. They believed Earth wouldn't risk open war. They were wrong. Earth's answer. Silence before the storm on board Earth's flagship Vengeance. Admiral Reyes sat quietly. Her officers waited. The countdown timer showed 45 minutes left. Then 30, then 10. At exactly 60 minutes, Admiral Reyes stood. Her voice was steady. No response from them. She asked. Her communication officer shook his head. No ma'am. They're trying to leave orbit. Reyes gave her final order. Engage. 1 word. That was all it took. Total communication blackout. Every Earth ship activated electronic warfare systems. The Vaskia fleet suddenly lost all sensors. Their communications went dark. Their targeting systems failed. Their engines slowed. Total electronic blackout. Commander Hresh shouted. What's happening? I can't see the fleet. I can't contact anyone. His engineers screamed back. Our systems are jammed. Shields dropping. We're blind. Hresh's panic grew. Suddenly, outside the window, he saw it. Hundreds of glowing railgun rounds streaking toward them. First strike. Earth's lethal blow. The first Vaskia's ship was hit mid-engine. It exploded instantly. The second ship tried to turn. To slow, it was torn apart by high-velocity kinetic rounds. Inside the Tavari ship, Captain Relok and his crew could only watch in shock. Massive flashes of light lit the sky above them. The Vaskia fleet was being torn apart, one ship at a time. Rala, whispered Captain, this is slaughter. Relok's voice shook. No, this is punishment. Ground assault teams deploy while Earth's warships destroyed the Vaskia fleet. The real mission began. Inside the Vengeance, Earth Marine Commander Keller gathered his team. They wore heavy black armor, powered exosuits, and carried dangerous plasma rifles. Their mission was simple. Locate and extract the human. Kill any Vaskia in the way. Keller grinned as he climbed aboard his drop pod. Time to show them how dangerous humans can be, he said. The drop pods launched at high speed toward Cora 7, the Vaskia ground troops. No chance on the surface of Cora 7. Vaskia ground troops began deploying around the damaged Tavari ship. They were ready to storm the vessel, but before they reached the airlock, Earth Marines landed. The first wave of Earth soldiers hit the ground with shock-absorbing boots. Keller led the charge. Engage, he shouted. Blue plasma bolts ripped through Vaskia armor. Explosions shook the ground. The Vaskia tried to fight back, but their weapons were outdated and weak against human technology. Within minutes, the entire Vaskia ground unit was wiped out inside the Tavari ship. First contact. Captain Relok held his breath as Earth's Marines forced open his airlock. The Tavari raised their hands, expecting death instead. Keller stepped inside. Weapons lowered. His eyes scanned the room, then he saw the injured human. Keller's voice softened. We're here for him. Relok stepped forward. We helped him, please. We mean no harm. Keller nodded. You saved one of ours. That means you're under our protection now. Relok blinked, surprised. Earth medics quickly carried the human out on a stretcher. Keller turned back to his squad. Evac the Tavari too. They're coming with us. Admiral Reyes watches back on the flagship. Admiral Reyes watched live feeds. Vascular ships exploded like fireworks. Her officer reported, ground team successful, human secured, Tavari survivors extracted. Reyes didn't smile. She only gave one more order. Continue orbital bombardment. Leave no Vascular ship intact. The final blow, Earth's fury unleashed. Earth's heavy cruisers opened their missile bays. Dozens of nuclear warheads launched toward the last remaining Vascular ships. Massive explosions lit up space. The Vascular fleet, once proud, was now burning wreckage floating in the void. Total silence followed. The galaxy starts talking far away. Listening stations on other alien worlds picked up the battle signals. The news spread fast. Earth attacked Vascular ships. Total destruction. Humans responded with lethal force. For just one human life. Whispers traveled between traders, diplomats, and warlords. For the first time, many began to fear Earth. The humans still alive inside the Earth medical bay. The rescued human opened his eyes. He was weak, confused, but alive. Commander Keller stood next to him. "You're safe now," Keller said. "We don't leave our people behind." The human gave a tired smile. "Thank you," he whispered. Part 2 Cliffhanger. Earth's next move. But Admiral Reyes wasn't finished. She looked at the star map showing the Vascular homeworld. Her voice was cold and final. "Set course for Vascular Prime." Her officer stared at her. "Ma'am, full fleet deployment." Reyes nodded. "Yes, they took one of ours. Now we're coming for all of them." Her eyes narrowed. "And this time we're not stopping at warnings." The stars over Vascular border space burned with deadly light. Earth's 7th battle fleet moved like a black wall of metal and fire. 50 destroyers, 20 heavy cruisers, 3 carrier-class warships, and in the center, the flagship Vengeance with Admiral Reyes in command. Earth had not come to talk. Earth had come to strike. Vascular High Command. Total panic on the Vascular homeworld. Deep inside the capital city of Draskell Prime, the Vascular High Council gathered in fear. Screens showed live feeds of the destroyed fleet near Cora 7. Smoke, burning wreckage, floating bodies of Vascular soldiers. Council leader Zorash slammed his fist on the table. How could this happen? How did the humans move so fast? A science officer stuttered. "Our scanners showed no warning. Their ships arrived from FTL with 0 delay. Impossible speeds." Zorash hissed. "No, it's worse than that. The humans want war." The council whispered nervously. One advisor muttered, "They're playing a dangerous game." Another said, "No, they've entered dangerous territory." Zorash stood. "Mobilize every warship. Ready the planetary defense grid. The humans are coming." Earth's fleet advances. Admiral Reyes stood on her command deck. Her officers waited for orders. "Status report," she asked. Communications officer replied, "No Vascular surrender signals received. They're scrambling defense fleets." Reyes smiled darkly. "Good, let's begin." She pointed at the star map. "Target their border outposts first. Wipe out all listening stations and refueling docks. Then move deeper. Earth's lethal weapons. No mercy." Earth's warships spread out. The destroyers moved first, their railguns charged. Huge magnetic coils glowing blue, with thunderous force. Hypervelocity rounds fired toward Vascular outposts. Within seconds, 3 Vascular stations exploded into fireballs. Vascular communication arrays went dark. Earth's stealth fighters launched next. Small, fast, and almost invisible on sensors. They slipped behind enemy lines and targeted Vascular supply ships. One by one, they burned. VAS, Kia counterattack, weakened Slovaska warships, tried to regroup. Dozens of cruisers and light attack ships flew toward Earth's fleet. Their weapons fired first. Plasma bolts, energy cannons. But Earth's point defense systems lit up. Human AI controlled guns tracked every incoming missile and laser. Earth's ships barely took any damage. The Vascular's weapons were outdated, slow, weak. Earth's return fire was devastating. Hundreds of railgun rounds, smart missiles, focused beam weapons. The first Vascular wave lasted 7 minutes before total destruction. Earth Marines. Boarding action begins while the space battle raged. Earth's special boarding teams prepared for their next mission. Commander Keller stood inside the dropship bay, checking his armor. Next target, the Vascular dreadnought. Bloodfang, he told his squad. His soldiers locked their weapons. Their mission: board the enemy ship, take control, or destroy it from inside. The dropships launched. Keller's team smashed through the dreadnought's hangar bay. Vascular soldiers fought back, but Keller's team moved fast. Room by room, hallway by hallway, Earth Marines pushed forward. Plasma grenades tore through Vascular defenses. Heavy pulse rifles cut down enemy troops within 30 minutes. The Bloodfang was under human control. Message sent. Earth means business. Admiral Reyes smiled when she got the report. Broadcast this across the sector, she said. Comms officer sent a live feed of the captured Vascular dreadnought, now flying under Earth control, moving with the 7th Fleet. A clear message to the Vascular Empire: Earth is inside your borders now, and we're not leaving. Vascular leaders. Total fear back in Draskell Prime. Council leaders. Zorash shook with rage. "We need reinforcements," he shouted. Another general spoke up. We've already sent every available ship. The humans are breaking through every line. Zorash turned to his science division. Activate the planetary defense grid. Prepare the orbital cannons. Use the dangerous weapon prototypes if you have to. The science officer hesitated, but sir, those weapons are unstable. They could damage our own cities. Zorash's eyes narrowed. I don't care. Use them now. Earth plans the next move on the Vengeance. Admiral Reyes studied the incoming data. Her fleet had destroyed 80% of Vaskia border defenses. Her ships suffered minimal damage. Still, she wasn't satisfied. We move to Phase 2, she said. Her officers nodded. Target the shipyards at Kelron Station next, she ordered. After that, the communication hubs near their homeworld. Her final words sent a chill across the bridge. I want the Vaskia home planet cut off, isolated, with no way to call for help. The Tavari watch in shock aboard a hospital ship. The Tavari survivors, including Captain Relock and Rala, watched the battle reports on small screens. They saw Earth's ships tearing through the Vaskia like paper. Relock shook his head. This is madness, he whispered. Rala said softly. We saved one human, and now Earth is burning an entire empire. Another Tavari medic said nervously. Maybe we shouldn't have gotten involved. Relock answered. No, I think we saved the right person. They all fell silent as another Vaskia fleet exploded live on screen. Final blow of Part 3, a dangerous signal just as Earth's fleet prepared for the next strike. A secret Vaskia lab deep underground on Draskell Prime sent a coded message. Project Oblivion. Activating. Final option. The dangerous weapon is online. Inside the lab, scientists unlocked a chamber that had been sealed for years. A giant, unstable experimental weapon. One even the Vaskia feared. The warning lights blinked red. High Command received the message. Council. Leader Zorash whispered to himself. If the humans want danger, we'll show them what true danger looks like. Part 3 cliffhanger. The Vaskia's final weapon is about to awaken. The sky over the Vaskia homeworld burned with falling wreckage. Earth's fleet pushed deeper every hour. The Vaskia navy was broken. Their defense grid was failing, but still, the human scientist, the reason for this entire war, was missing. Deep underground, the human captive are beneath the surface of Draskell Prime. Inside a hidden Vaskia military bunker, the human lay unconscious. His name was Dr. Elias Ward, a researcher from Earth SE Proxima Centauri station. His body was weak, bruised, but his mind was still fighting to stay alive. 2 Vaskia guards stood outside his cell, both nervous, both afraid of what Earth would do next. Inside the command center of the bunker, General Kresh studied the tactical screens. Earth's forces were getting closer. Their scanners were sweeping the planet. But the bunker was deep, shielded, buried, under kilometers of rock and metal. Earth begins the search on board the flagship Vengeance. Admiral Reyes paced across the war room. Her intelligence officer, L. Monroe, pointed at the latest scan results. We've destroyed all surface installations, ma'am, but there's no sign of Dr. Ward. Reyes frowned. Then he's underground. Lt. Monroe nodded. Yes, ma'am. Multiple heat signatures suggest at least 5 large bunkers still active. Reyes turned to Commander Keller. Keller, take a special ops team. Full gear. Find the human. Bring him home. Keller smiled grimly. Yes, Admiral, we'll find him. The dangerous infiltration begins. Keller's dropship roared through the burning atmosphere. His team of 12 Earth Special Forces soldiers sat ready. Their black exosuits gleamed under the red lights. Weapons checked, armor sealed. Keller's voice was low but clear. Listen up. This mission is dangerous. The most dangerous one yet. Multiple unknown bunkers. Heavy enemy presence. Possible traps. And now, rumors of some dangerous weapon project down there. His second-in-command, Sergeant Lane, asked, What's our priority, sir? Keller answered, Priority 1, find Dr. Ward. Priority 2, kill anything that gets in our way. The dropship landed near the mountain range where heat signatures were strongest. Inside the bunker, Vaskia, prepare for defense. General Kresh gave orders fast. Sealed the bunker doors. Ready the auto turrets. Deploy shock troops in the lower tunnels. The Vaskia engineers activated every defense they had. Laser trip mines, automated plasma cannons, biological gas traps. Kresh spoke to his guards. If the humans come, make them bleed for every meter they take. Earth Marines enter. The Mayskiller's team blew open the first bunker door with a high breaching charge. Smoke and dust filled the air. Earth Marines moved fast, clearing corridors, taking down Vaskia soldiers with precise shots. The narrow tunnels became a deadly maze. Explosions rocked the halls. One Earth soldier triggered a plasma trap. Flames burst through the hallway, but they pushed forward. Lane shouted, Keep moving, we're close. Keller checked his scanner. Doctor Ward's life sign was weak, but still active. Deeper below, the dangerous weapon, Project Oblivion. Elsewhere inside the bunker, Vaskia scientists worked fast. In a sealed vault, they opened the control panel for Project Oblivion, a massive war machine, 2 stories tall, with glowing energy cores. It was a prototype weapon never tested in real combat. The lead scientist warned, It's unstable. Using it now could destroy the entire facility. General Kresh growled, "Do it anyway. If we die, we'll take the humans with us." The machine powered up loud, shaking the walls. A deadly hum filled the air. The fight gets worse. Keller's team reached the lower tunnels. Suddenly, heavy doors slammed shut behind them. Vaskia shock troops emerged from hidden side tunnels, firing plasma rifles. The air filled with smoke and heat. Keller shouted, "Return fire." Explosions shook the ground. Sergeant Lane took a hit to the shoulder, but kept fighting. Earth soldiers used grenade launchers and pulse cannons, clearing room after room. VA's gear bodies piled up, but still, more kept coming. Keller knew they were running out of time. The human still alive. Barely in his dark cell, Dr. Ward opened his eyes for a few seconds. He heard gunfire in the distance. He smiled weakly. "They're coming," he whispered. For the first time in days, he felt hope. Earth's last push. Keller's scanner beeped life sign, 50 meters ahead. He kicked open the next door, but standing in their path was Project Oblivion. The giant Vaskia war machine turned toward them. Massive cannons charged. Keller's eyes widened. What the hell? The machine fired. The entire tunnel shook as walls collapsed. Keller screamed, "Cover!" His team scattered, dodging falling rocks and energy blasts. "Danger grows. Time running out." Lane shouted from behind. "Cover, sir. That thing's tearing us apart." Keller gritted his teeth. "We're not leaving without the doctor." He switched to Earth's high-power anti-armor weapon, the Titan launcher, loading the missile, aiming carefully. Keller fired. The warhead struck the machine's energy core. A massive explosion tore through the bunker. Dust, fire, screams. The tunnel began collapsing. Keller pushed forward through the smoke, shouting, "Find a doctor." Now the rescue two Marines broke open Dr. Ward's cell door. The human scientists lay unconscious, but breathing. "Got him," they shouted. Keller grabbed Ward, lifting him over his shoulder. "Move. This place is coming down." The team sprinted back through the collapsing tunnels. Explosions followed them at every step. Behind them, Project Oblivion burned, sparking. Finally silent. Escaped to the surface. The Earth dropship waited at the extraction point. Keller and his surviving team ran on board just as the bunker fully collapsed behind them. The dropship lifted off at full speed, engines roaring. From the sky, they watched as the entire mountain range shook and cracked from underground explosions. Admiral Reyes gets the news back on the Vengeance. Admiral Reyes received the transmission. Mission successful. Dr. Ward secured. Hostile bunker destroyed. Reyes nodded. But her face stayed cold. "Good," she said. "But this war isn't over." She turned back toward the star map showing the Vaskia homeworld. "Now we deal with their capital city." The final scene of Part 4, Vaskia's last offense. Deep inside the Vaskia High Command Center, alarms screamed. Zorash stared at his remaining generals. "They've taken the human, they've destroyed our bunkers, and now they're coming for us," a scientist whispered in terror. "The humans have become the most dangerous force we've ever faced." The Vaskia homeworld, Draskal Prime, shook under constant orbital strikes. Every few minutes, Earth's ships fired kinetic rounds, plasma beams, and high-yield missiles. Cities burned. Military bases crumbled, but Earth's full invasion hadn't even started yet. That was about to change. Admiral Reyes gives the order on board the flagship Vengeance. Admiral Reyes stood in front of her command staff. Her voice was cold and clear. "We've rescued our scientist. The Vaskia are broken. Their fleets are gone. Their ground defenses are weak." She paused, "but they still refuse to surrender." Her officers waited in silence. Reyes pointed at the holographic map of Draskal Prime. "Prepare full planetary invasion." Her final words echoed across the bridge. "No more warnings." Earth's armies mobilized from Earth's carrier ships. Thousands of landing craft launched. Earth Marines, heavy tanks, mechs, mobile artillery, dropships roared through the atmosphere, heading straight for the Vaskia capital city. The air turned red from the heat of Entry Commander Keller, still bruised from the last mission, stood at the front of the first drop unit. He checked his pulse rifle one last time. His voice was steady over the comms. "Earth soldiers, today we walk into enemy territory. No fear, no mercy. Let's finish this." Vaskia capital. Total chaos inside the Vaskia capital. Draskal City. Sirens wailed. Civilians ran for underground shelters. Vaskia soldiers rushed to defensive positions, setting up barricades and plasma turrets. Council leader Zorash stood inside the high command bunker, screaming at his generals. "Where are our reinforcements? Where is our fleet?" His science officer shook his head. "Destroyed, sir, all of them." Zorash's hands trembled. "Then activate all remaining defenses. Call every available soldier to the front lines." Earth's first landing, pure disruptor. Earth's dropships landed at multiple points around the capital. As soon as the ramps dropped, Earth Marines stormed out, weapons blazing. Tanks rolled forward, smashing through Vaskia walls. Mobile artillery fired huge shells, turning enemy bunkers into dust. The Vaskia fought back, but their plasma rifles couldn't penetrate Earth's new generation combat armor. Keller's unit advanced street by street, clearing buildings, leaving no enemy alive. Sergeant Lane yelled, "Push forward." No stopping. Grenades exploded in alleyways. Human snipers took out enemy commanders with single shots. The city fell. block by block. Earth's dangerous new weapon, the Hammer-class siege platform hovering above the city. Earth deployed its latest siege weapon, the Hammer-class orbital platform, a floating fortress, armed with anti-city plasma cannons and seismic disruptor bombs. Admiral Reyes gave the go-ahead. Target enemy strings, level them. The hammer fired. Entire Vaskia defense sectors collapsed in massive fireballs. Earth was not just fighting. Earth was erasing. Vaskia resistance falls apart inside the capital bunker. Zorash's generals shouted over each other. The east wall is gone. South defense is overrun. Our heavy weapons are destroyed. Zorash slammed his fist on the console. Then send in the death squads, every soldier. Fight to the last breath. Earth Marines entered the palace district. Kellers team breached the palace walls. Vaskia elite guards stood ready, but even they couldn't match Earth firepower. One by one, they fell under rapid rifle bursts and grenade blasts. Keller led the charge up the palace steps at the top. Heavy doors stood between him and the Vaskia High Council. Breaching charges ready, Lane shouted. Do it, Keller ordered. Seconds later, the doors blew apart. Face to face, Keller meets Zorash inside the council chamber. Zorash stood trembling. His surviving generals raised their weapons, but froze when they saw Keller's team pointing plasma rifles straight at them. Keller stepped forward. Calm, dangerous. You had your chance, he said. Zorash snarled. You humans, you don't belong in this galaxy. Keller raised his weapon. We do now. Before Zorash could say another word, Keller fired. Full surrender. The Vaskia Empire falls. Minutes later, Admiral Reyes received the final report. High Council eliminated, capital secured, enemy resistance ended. Reyes nodded slowly. Send a message across the Vaskia networks. Her communication officer broadcast the words, the Vaskia Empire has fallen. Earth now controls Draskell Prime. The galaxy watches in across nearby star systems. Alien species listened to Earth's transmission. Some were shocked, some were terrified for the first time. Everyone understood, humanity had no limits when it came to protecting their own. The traders, pirates, and diplomats who once laughed at Earth now fell silent. Galactic channels buzzed with one word: dangerous. Final scene of Part 5. Reyes looks to the stars. Admiral Reyes stood at the viewing window of her flagship below. The Vaskia capital burned. Her officers waited for her next order. Reyes stared at the stars, her voice low. Dangerous, full of finality. Let the galaxy remember this day. Never touch a human again. Deep inside the medical bay of the Earth flagship Vengeance, Dr. Elias Ward opened his eyes. Everything felt blurry, heavy. His body ached from days of torture and cold confinement in the Vaskia bunker. But the first thing he saw was the Earth flag on the wall. He was safe now. The recovery room commander Keller stood beside the bed, his armor dusty and scratched from battle. Keller smiled lightly. Welcome back, Doc. You gave us one hell of a reason to start a war. Elias tried to speak, but his throat was dry. A nurse helped him drink water. Keller pulled up a chair. You're on board the Vengeance. Earth won the Vaskia Empire. It's done. Their capital is under our control now. Elias closed his eyes for a second. Memories of beatings, torture, fear, all flashed through his mind. Then he whispered, "Thank you for coming for me." Keller nodded. "We don't leave our people behind." Admiral Reyes plans the next move in the war room. Admiral Reyes stood before her officers. Status on civilian areas, she asked. Her ground commander reported, "We've restored order in most districts. Civilians are scared but not resisting." "Good," Reyes said. She stared at the holomap of the Vaskia sector. Her voice became sharp. "But we're not done." Her intelligence officer spoke next. "Ma'am, we've captured enemy scientists. They were working on dangerous bioweapons. Plus, there's still scattered Vaskia military groups hiding in the outer cities." Reyes's eyes narrowed, then increased patrols. No safe corners for them. Her next words carried full authority. Anyone still carrying a weapon against Earth is considered a target. Galaxy-wide reaction. Fear spreads across nearby star systems. Alien news channels buzzed with breaking updates. Images of Earth soldiers marching through Vaskia streets. Videos of Earth warships hovering over the Vaskia capital. Reports of the High Council's death. Some alien empires called Earth's response brutal. Others called it necessary. But everyone agreed on one thing. Humans were now the most dangerous species in this part of the galaxy. The Vaskia remnants plot in secret far away in hidden underground tunnels outside Draskell City. A small group of surviving Vaskia generals met in secret. Their leader now was General Kresh, the last surviving high-rank officer. His eyes were red with hate. "They destroyed our fleet, they killed our leaders, but we're not finished." One younger officer asked, "What's the plan, sir?" Kresh growled. "We start a dangerous game. Hit-and-run attacks, sabotage, assassinations. Let them bleed for every street they walk on our soil." His final words were venom. "We'll make this occupation hell for them." Earth's counterinsurgency response. Admiral Reyes already expected such moves. Her special operations teams, including Keller's unit, were now hunting for Vaskia holdouts. Night raids, drone strikes, tactical insertions. Vaskia sabotage teams were captured or killed one by one. But Reyes knew insurgency could drag on for months, maybe years. Her orders remained clear: zero tolerance, total control. Dr. Ward's trauma, the human cost back in the medical bay. Dr. Ward struggled with nightmares. In his sleep, he heard Vaskia voices screaming at him, felt the pain of electric shocks, smelled the burning metal of his prison cell. A nurse gently woke him. "You're safe now," she whispered, but Elias knew the scars inside him wouldn't heal easily. Commander Keller visited again. "Doc, when you're strong enough, Earth Command wants a full report. What they did to you. Anything we need for intel." Ward nodded slowly. "I'll tell them everything," he said. "They need to know what kind of enemy we're dealing with." Earth's psychological warfare begins. Admiral Reyes started a new campaign. She ordered Earth broadcasts to play across the Vaskia homeworld. Videos of captured Vaskia prisoners surrendering, footage of Earth soldiers providing food and medicine to civilians, messages offering safe surrender for any remaining Vaskia fighters. But at the same time, Earth secretly targeted enemy leaders still hiding underground. Drone strikes hit safe houses. Assassins eliminated key commanders. Cyber warfare jammed all enemy communications. The message was clear: keep fighting, and Earth will destroy you. Surrender, and you'll live. A dangerous new enemy emerges. But even as Earth gained control, new reports came in. On the dark side of the planet, far from the capital, strange signals appeared on Earth's scanners. Lt. Monroe reported urgently to Reyes, "Ma'am, we're detecting unknown troop movements near the old Vaskia research zones." Reyes raised an eyebrow. "Another weapons lab?" "Maybe," Monroe said, "but something's different. The energy readings are strange, high radiation, and large heat signatures, like something big is moving underground." Reyes's expression darkened. "Get Keller on the line. I want recon teams there now." Final scene. The unseen threat deep below the old Vaskia research zones, inside a sealed vault. Massive doors opened for the first time in years. Strange creatures, engineered by Vaskia scientists, stepped out, larger, stronger biomechanical monsters, programmed for only one thing: kill every human they see. Their red eyes lit up, their claws scraped the floor, and with a single command from their hidden master, they began moving toward the surface. The night sky over Draskell Prime remained filled with smoke and fire. Earth's soldiers patrolled the ruined streets. Tanks rolled across empty highways. Drones buzzed over shattered buildings. On the surface it looked like Earth had won, but deep underground, something terrible was waking up. Keller's recon team sent to investigate inside the Vengeance. Admiral Reyes stood over a blinking map. Lt. Monroe pointed at the strange signals coming from the planet's dark side. "Ma'am, whatever is down there, it's moving fast." Reyes nodded grimly. "Send Keller's team. Full gear. Maximum caution." Commander Keller, still sore from earlier missions, loaded his rifle again. His team was ready. Sergeant Lane checked the explosives. "Feels like we're walking into something dangerous again." Sir Keller smirked. "We always are." The underground facility, cold and dead. At first, their dropship landed near an old Vaskia research base. Half buried under collapsed rock. Earth scanners showed heat signatures. Deep below, Keller's squad entered carefully. Dust and darkness filled the hallways. Broken lab equipment lay scattered. Old Vaskia bodies, long dead, rotted in corners, but the power systems below were still active, flickering lights, strange noises in the air vents. Lane whispered, "Sir, this place feels wrong." Keller nodded. "Stay sharp." First contact with a nightmare, they reached a large metal door, thick, reinforced. It had strange warning signs scratched all over it, written in Vaskia language: "Do not open, extremely dangerous, unstable, lethal." Keller raised his fist, signaling his team to halt before he could order a retreat. The door burst open from the inside, and the nightmare stepped out. The biomechanical killers, the creatures were over 3 meters tall, with armored skin and glowing red eyes, sharp claws, heavy jaws, mechanical parts fused with muscle. Faster than any Vaskia soldier, stronger than Earth's exosuits. They moved with horrifying speed. One creature grabbed Private Daniels and tore him apart before anyone could react. Another leaped over cover, slamming 2 soldiers against the wall with bone-breaking force. Lane screamed, "Open fire." Bullets and plasma rounds filled the air, but the creatures kept coming. Earth's first real losses for the first time since the invasion began. Keller's team was losing. 3 soldiers dead within seconds, the rest retreating down the tunnel, firing blindly. Keller activated his comlink. "Vengeance, this is Keller. We've got a new enemy. Extremely dangerous. Request immediate airstrike on our position." From above, Admiral Reyes heard the call. Her eyes widened. She ordered orbital cannons to lock onto the coordinates. "Fire. Now, orbital. Strike." Not enough high above. Earth's orbital platform fired a focused plasma beam toward the target zone. The ground shook. The facility exploded in a giant fireball. Dust and rock flew into the sky for a few seconds. Everything was silent. But then, movement. Out of the burning crater, 3 of the creatures crawled out, still alive, still hunting. and now heading toward Earth's forward bases near the city. Total alert across the fleet. Admiral Reyes stood up. Full combat alert, she ordered. Deploy all ground forces. Prepare anti-tank weapons, heavy mechs on standby. Get air units in the sky. Her voice turned deadly serious. This is now a planet-wide containment mission. We cannot let these things reach civilian zones. The dangerous enemy is ability. The creatures moved toward the city edge. Earth recon drones recorded their actions. One creature shrugged off anti-vehicle missiles. Another tore apart a battle tank with its bare claws. The third moved faster than any human eye could track, disappearing and reappearing with impossible speed. Keller, now with a new squad and heavier weapons, watched the drone feed in horror. This is something else, he whispered. Lane loaded a heavy plasma launcher. They're not soldiers, they're death machines. The first major battle against the new threat. Earth deployed everything. Air support with fighter drones, artillery shells raining from orbit, heavy mechs marching into position. The creatures charged straight into the firestorm. Missiles struck, explosions blasted, but the creatures kept pushing. One mecha pilot reported, direct hit. It's still standing, coming right at me. A second mecha was ripped in half within seconds. The city's outer defenses began to fall. Dr. Ward wakes to new terror back inside the medical bay. Dr. Ward sat up as alarms screamed across the Vengeance. A nurse rushed inside. Doctor, we need to move you to the secure zone, Ward asked weakly. What's happening now? The nurse's face went pale. A new kind of enemy, sir, and it's killing everything in its path. Keller's last-ditch plan, knowing that normal weapons weren't enough. Keller called for Earth's experimental heavy weapon unit. Minutes later, 2 giant Titan-class railguns were moved into place outside the city, each gun the size of a building. Each shot strong enough to punch a hole through a battleship. Keller stood next to the first gun, giving coordinates. Target the biggest one first. The Titan railgun charged. Energy coils glowing bright white. Keller gave the final command, fire. Final scene. The beginning of a worse nightmare. The railgun round hit the leading creature straight in the chest. The impact tore half its body apart for a second. Earth soldiers cheered. But then, the remains of the creature twitched, shifted and began rebuilding itself. Muscle regrew, metal fused back together. Its eyes opened again, glowing brighter than before. Lane stared at it in horror. Sir, it's healing. Keller's voice dropped to a whisper. Oh no. This just got worse. The night sky over Draskell Prime glowed orange with fire. Earth's armies stood in defensive lines outside the capital city. Soldiers loaded their last rockets. Tanks repositioned for a final stand. Mechs stood like steel giants, ready for one last fight. The enemy was coming. The unstoppable self-healing biomechanical vascular warbeasts, moving like a storm toward Earth's front lines. Admiral Reyes' final orders on board the Vengeance. Admiral Reyes stood with clenched fists. Her eyes were red from hours without sleep. Her voice was cold steel. Transmit this to every soldier on the planet, she said. Her words went live across every comm channel. This is our line. This is our stand. If we fall here, these things will reach Earth. We do not fall, not today. Keller's trap. The dangerous plan. Commander Keller stood next to the new weapon array. Earth's last option, the blackout bomb. A prototype warhead never tested in atmosphere. Highly dangerous, capable of frying all electronics and biomechanical systems within a 100-kilometer radius. Sergeant Lane asked, Sir, if we use this, won't it shut down our own gear too? Keller nodded. Double quotes, yes. Communications, vehicles, even our suits, everything. Lane gulped. Then how do we survive? Keller stared at the oncoming monsters. We dig in, we fight with what we've got left, and we pray it's enough. The enemy attacks. The creatures charged. The ground shook with their speed. They crashed into Earth's defenses like living tanks. Tanks fired. Mechs launched missiles. Drones struck from above, but still, the monsters kept coming. One creature smashed through 3 armored vehicles like paper. Another leapt over defense walls, landing in the middle of Earth's infantry line, tearing soldiers apart. Earth soldiers fought with rifles, grenades, even knives when ammo ran out. Every shot, every blast, slowed the creatures, but didn't stop them. Human psychological warfare. Fear turns to rage. Fear spread through Earth's lines. But then, something strange happened. Instead of breaking, Earth soldiers became more aggressive. Marines shouted war cries. Wounded soldiers picked up weapons again. Even civilians hiding nearby grabbed rifles and joined the fight. Every human united by one thing, survival. Their screams echoed across the battlefield. For Earth, for humanity. No retreat. Keller's final move. The blackout bomb. Keller saw the largest monster breaking through the last defense wall. There was no time left. He grabbed the detonator, turning to Lane. He said, Tell Reyes, it's been an honor then. He hit the trigger. Explosion. Total darkness, say blinding. White light spread across the battlefield. The shockwave tore through everything. Electronics failed. Drones fell from the sky. Tanks and mechs shut down instantly. Even the vascular creatures froze, their glowing red eyes flickering, then going dark one by one. The monsters collapsed like broken machines. Silence. Thick smoke covered everything. After the blast, no power, no support, only survival for long minutes. Nothing moved. Earth. Soldiers crawled out from foxholes and trenches. Without power, without comms, they used flares and hand signals to regroup. Keller sat in the dirt, blood on his face, smiling weakly. Lane coughed next to him. "Sir, we're still alive." Keller nodded. "Barely." Admiral Reyes reacts on board the Vengeance. The blackout wave reached orbit for 2 minutes. Every system shut down. The bridge went dark. Officers froze, waiting, afraid. Then, emergency. Power came back online. Reyes stood quickly. "Status." Her comms officer cheered. "We're back online. Planet surface reports. Targets eliminated." Reyes allowed herself a small smile for the first time in days. "Finally, it's over." The VAT official surrender hours later. Surviving Vasco generals crawled out of bunkers with white flags. A final transmission was sent. "We surrender, unconditionally. The war is over. Earth's victory." The galaxy watches in silence across the galaxy. Alien species watch the human victory with horror and respect. The news spread fast. Earth survived the impossible. Earth stopped the unstoppable enemy. Earth became lethally dangerous. Some empires cancelled all future plans to mess with humans. Others started urgent research into human military tactics. Everyone learned one thing: never make humans angry. Dr. Ward, the survivor's vow in the medical bay. Dr. Ward watched footage of the battle. Tears filled his eyes. All this started because of him. Keller visited again. "Doc, you're going home soon," he said with a grin. Ward nodded. "But when I get back, I'm joining the defense projects. I'll help make sure this never happens again." Keller smiled. "Good. We'll need your brain." Final scene. Earth's new reputation. Admiral Reyes stood at the observation window, staring at the stars. She whispered to herself, "Let this be a warning to the galaxy. Humans protect their own, and we hit back 10 times harder." Behind her, the entire Earth fleet floated in orbit, engines glowing, weapons armed, ready for whatever came next.